I'd like to talk to you about this cult that we call consumerism. Now, it's easy to think of consumerism as something fairly harmless, even beneficial to our way of life. However, I believe I'm coming to an understanding of the absolute insanity of the world around me that I was born into and never questioned until very recently. There are a lot of issues I want to talk about. I'm not sure all of them make sense or if they're really that relevant, because I am a very confused individual at the moment, trying to form a perspective of the broader picture. It's very difficult to do this, especially with the amount of misinformation and outright propaganda on the internet. One of the things that started to make me think was this thing we call first world problems. Stuff like not being able to choose what chocolate bar to buy, your remote being too far away to reach, your iPod running out of battery, and the list goes on and on. These are things that average people actually get incredibly frustrated with, and I'm sure you can relate. But how does that make sense? Why do people have this incredible sense of angst in their lives? Some people may feel a growing sense of dread, an overall depression or confusion in their identity. I truly believe this to be an effect of the absolute insanity of society on the collective level, and it's becoming more and more widespread. Depression and personality disorders are being diagnosed more and more often. See, I believe that as we grow up into this culture, we're domesticated, trained, taught to buy things, taught to fit in, taught to follow authority, whether we agree with its premise or not. The stress of everyday life is becoming overwhelming to people. Now, how does that work? It seems like day-to-day life, our existences, everything about us are meaningless unless they're spent in the pursuit of money, success, and after all of that, objects. Objects that we don't need. All of us are brought up in this cult of consumerism, the pursuit of happiness through material gain. And because it's seemingly so natural to most of the world and its population, a lot of people fail to question it or think about its validity. So we buy and buy and buy, to feel a sense of self-worth, self-identity, accomplishment and momentary happiness. We buy because we have the money. We buy things to feel glamorous, to feel connected to a group of people that we might not even know, to look good, to follow fashion and trends. They say buy, we go out and buy. Everyone is a narcissist. People have said that I put too much blame in other people, in the system, the man. They don't understand the basic premise of what I'm saying. This is nobody's fault, or everybody's fault at the moment. We're all just blindingly insane. Turn off your TV for a few days, please. Please, I know it's difficult, but try and do this. And I promise you will be shocked at the advertisements, and if you're like me, you might see them for what they are. Have you ever seen a perfume advert? Of course you have. You can't even smell the perfume. What are they trying to sell? The idea of glamour. We are constantly sold ideas. Money in its original state makes sense, but now even some of the world's top economists don't quite understand what's going on, how to fix the problem. I think the amount of debt per capita in the US is something like $50,000. I can't even comment on that. To be honest, I really don't understand what's going on in that system, other than the fact that money used to be based on real resources, and now we seem to think it's okay to create it out of thin air. Even seemingly harmless companies begin to have a different sense of meaning to me. Facebook, in its essence, is a way of branding yourself, of choosing who you want to be. More and more advertisements are popping up, and the scary thing is they're clever. They know how to figure out what you're interested in. They know how to make you buy their product. Oh, and if you leave Facebook alone for too long, you know they're going to change something. Have a new way for you to edit your profile. Make sure nothing embarrassing from the past has popped up. Make you look better to the masses of people that you don't even speak to in real life. And meanwhile, they advertise to you the entire time. It's almost impossible to escape. Now, I know in the past I've suffered with self-identity issues, and I'm still battling them to this day. I always thought of that as something inherently wrong with me, but I'm coming to terms with the fact that it's what this cruel dystopia we live in has done to me. And now all I want for myself is to help the world, in whatever way I can. I may not know myself very well, and I think it's gotten to a point in my development where that will consistently be a problem for the rest of my life. So I'm going to rely on my passion to guide me. So, now that you hopefully have slightly more understanding of the social aspects of consumerism, I'd like to let you know more about what it actually does. This isn't just a social thing. This isn't just about your mind. No, this is about the destruction of the planet that's responsible for our life and vitality and every other organism that exists in so-called harmony with us. I won't bring my spiritual nature into this, but whether you believe in anything or not, it's not difficult to see that natural environments have a certain symbiosis to them, a natural harmony. Interdependence, interlinks, everything is connected. What's our place in this? You could call us, say, cancer. We are a cancerous species to the earth. Due to all our outsourcing, we have starving people in third world countries growing huge crops to send to us. We have huge factories mass-producing useless objects for the consumerism culture, polluting the very land that, like I said, gave us our lives. We torture animals en masse for the production of fast food and other such evils. We destroy entire ecologies for their resources, and we go to war with each other for the resources. This is because these resources are limited, and the rate at which we consume them is pure madness. If we keep going like this, I don't want to have kids. I don't want them walking in an irradiated land, starving to death because we couldn't control our greed or narcissism. I want a brighter future, and it pains me to say this, but I can't see that happening at the moment. I'm scared that if we keep going like this, it won't even be a state of our own starvation. We could destroy the entire planet, all of life on Earth. We're already seeing mass extinctions. It's not too difficult to imagine. So does this culture of material worship not seem very backwards to you yet? Another problem, I'm beginning to hate the endless list there seems to be of these, is the amount of waste we produce. Restaurants throw away more food than their patrons eat every day. We buy things that we never use, that become outdated very easily, or that are actually built to break so you buy another one. All in the name of simplicity of life and a profit motive. The thing about this waste is you can't throw anything away. There is no away. It's just waste. Try and think about the last time you felt truly serene and at peace with yourself. And I mean longer than for an hour. When was the last time you truly enjoyed your life? What we need to do is slow down, and I'll explain exactly how we can do that in a later video. I can't even talk about this anymore. I feel such a sense of despair and hopelessness. I worry sometimes that it's too late for us, that the damage is done, that we can't see past our madness, that people will leave the change for someone else to make. So I beg that you take some responsibility for your actions. At least think about this.